And a killer of a penalty kill. Beware of McCann and Brandon Tanev, the ex-Penguins. They will be on their toes, ready to play this one.
We take a look at the goaltending matchup for tonight's game. Penguins starting goalie presented by Hyundai's Casey DeSmith, his 5th appearance and in search of his first win of the season, last played November 27th against the Montreal Canadiens. Kraken starting goaltender presented by Kia is Philipp Grubauer, 30-year-old from Germany, won 30 games for the Avalanche last season, 3-1-1 in his last 5. Taco Bell take Mike Sullivan on going with Casey DeSmith tonight. He said his last game was his best. We've got to utilize both guys. It's important to manage the workloads of both Casey and Tristan Jarry. Dave Hackstall was named the first head coach Kraken history on June 24, 3.5 years as the Flyers head coach. He was asked about the Penguins earlier today. He said this team plays fast and hard. And the Penguins certainly did on Saturday with a 4-1 victory in Vancouver. So now this road trip concluding in the Pacific Northwest, in Seattle specifically. First ever game between the Penguins and the Kraken. Climate Pledge Arena, the new crown jewel in downtown Seattle. Off we go with the Pens and the Kraken. And Pittsburgh beginning with the Crosby line. As usual, joined by Jake Guentzel, hottest player in the league with points in 12 consecutive games. And on the right wing side, it's Evan Rodriguez. You'll see the Toyota lines at the top of the screen. And the Kraken trying to get the attack going, with Crosby applying some pressure on Alexander Wenberg, who will tap it back to defenseman Carson Soucy, number 28. Fired right up the middle of the ice, and it goes wide of Casey DeSmith. Chris Letang, big game on Saturday as well. 3-point performance. Rodriguez cutting toward the middle. Poke check, lost control, and the Kraken come up with it. Out to center is Jaden Schwartz. Schwartz along with Jordan Eberle, both getting back in the lineup, returning from injury. And a lot of experience with this Kraken team. Same expansion draft rules. And they have been one of the hotter teams in the league over the last 7 games. 5-1-1 in the last 7. Points in 4 straight. And wins against some upper echelon teams. Edmonton, Florida, Carolina, and Washington. After a bit of a slow start for the Kraken. Here's Schwartz throwing it right in front of Casey DeSmith. This will bound off the wall and all the way back into Seattle ice.
Well, let's look at Larson right there. He scored against his old team on this winning streak for the Kraken. Yeah, they have a lot of players here that are going to attack. Great skating, and when you have that draft, Mears, you can put together a pretty good team now. You saw that with Vegas.
Same thing, same rules as the Vegas expansion draft. Got our first look at Brandon Tanev. He's rushing to get back to even things up here as the Penguins are on the rush. And a centering pass by Zucker, jabbed away. He gets it back in a drive and misfired. And as the puck knuckled on him, down to the ice went Will Borgen. He's trying to come up with a puck here and can't. Carter to Heinen to Jeff Carter. He takes a look, a centering pass, and it's in. Score! Penguins with a 1-0 lead.
They're going to give that one to Carter, and another goal that goes off a defender. Jake Guentzel scored 3 the other night. They all went off a stick or a body. And this one here, the Penguins, Carter's going to pick up this loose puck behind the D. And watch as he tries to make that play. It goes off Grubauer's stick. Grubauer's trying to help himself out and prevent that pass from going cross crease. Instead, I think it goes off his stick. And right in behind him, Mearsy. So a self-goal there for Grubauer. And Carter, the beneficiary. The Penguins are on the board early here in Seattle.
Just a minute 47 seconds in. It will be Jeff Carter's 6th of the season. And Pittsburgh with a great start as Larson's drive is going to be blocked. Aston Reese in the lane. Well, that's a big goal for that line. Carter, Zucker, and Heinen put together on Saturday. The Penguins still looking for some more depth production. Certainly have it from the top line, but need to get some of those other players on the score sheet with more regularity, including Jason Zucker and Jeff Carter. Big opening tally for the Pens. They're 10-1-0 this season when they score first. Puck rolls into Casey DeSmith and just nudges it over to Chris Letang.
Give Casey DeSmith a little confidence here early in the game. Give him a lead.
Letang got it off the near wall. Play stops, 17:23 on the clock. I'm going to take a look back at this one. Bit of a crazy one, but it's Jeff Carter's goal.
Well, the Penguins have been fortunate, but you know, you get pucks and bodies to the net, and teams are going to make mistakes. And Grubauer made a mistake there. He had a lot of players back. You can see all the Kraken coming back to help defend. And those are beautiful jerseys, Mearsy, I must say.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yep.
Pinballs around. Crosby's right there, and that's denied by Grubauer. Sidney Crosby, point blank. And Grubauer comes up with a huge stop in the first 3 minutes.
Well, once again, he's going to use his stick to prevent a pass from coming out from behind the net. Take a look. Stick. It goes off his own player, comes right back to Crosby. Skate to stick. And he tries to elevate right away. And that's seamless. See, sometimes you don't see that until you watch in the slow motion. That puck was not on his stick. It was on his right skate. Next thing you know, he's elevating it.
Back to Pettersson with the shot. Scoring center brought by Point Park University. Everybody on that line factoring in the assist to Danton Heinen and Jason Zucker. And the Penguins immediately going with the Crosby line, featuring not one, but two red-hot scores. Talk so much about Jake, but Crosby 9 points in his last 5 games. And almost had another one there, if not for a grade A stop from Philip Grubauer. Penguins going with this more checking line. Now includes Kasperi Kapanen, along with Teddy Bluger and Brock McGinn. McGinn fished the puck out, got it toward Kapanen. He was checked, and emerging will be Morgan Geekie. Taps it over to Jared McCann. Last 3 years with Pittsburgh. Brandon Tanev is familiar number 13. No surprise, leads the Kraken in hits. And this line's been good for Dave Haxtell. Geekie playing center. Getting back is Will Borgen. He's coughed it up. Good pressure from Kapanen. Now he looks to make a play. Good pass up high for Dumoulin. Letang twists it over to Kapanen. Spun down low, right to Bluger, who's waiting. Pass toward the circle, intended for McGinn, out of his reach. And Morgan Geekie will shovel it out to center ice.
A couple of turnovers from Borgen early in the game. As he struggled in his own zone with that pressure of the Penguins. It was so evident against Vancouver, and former coach Travis Green, who was fired after that game, said, yeah, their speed was too much for us.
There's this line again. Zucker got swarmed. Scooped up by Yanni Gore, number 37.
A lot of coaching changes these days. Another one in Philadelphia.
Out is Alain Vigneault. Mike Yeo, former Penguins coach, named interim head coach of the Flyers. Yeah, it's been busy, especially in Vancouver in the aftermath of that Penguin victory on Saturday night.
Watch Crosby's right skate here. He's going to get himself in position, that wide stance. Look, skate to stick, and tries to elevate. So quick. And he practices those kind of things. They don't just happen. Self-made superstar right there. And he keeps working on anything that he feels needs improved.
Such magic with those two, Crosby and Gensel. It's just continued here this year. Sullivan was talking about that yesterday and just saying that Gensel's so good at finding those soft areas, but also getting there at the right time. The timing's got to be good, right?
It has to be. Yeah, I agree with that. Jake seems to just show up at the right time. You don't want to get there too early. You got to sneak in the back door, Mearsy.
Gensel a drive, as on the goal line, score! Crosby right there at the post. And the onslaught continues in the first 5 minutes. It's 2-0 Penguins.
Well, it started on the face-off circle. Rodriguez got kicked out, so Crosby wins it back. And then he's going to win the battle in front of the net for this puck that sneaks through Grubauer. And Oleksiak thinks he's got everything boxed out. Problem is, you got to get Sid's stick. Swartz is there, Oleksiak's there, but Sid's there, and he's the one who got his fishing pole in there, Mearsy, and was able to tap it in behind Grubauer. Grubauer a little bit leaky here in this game so far, and the Penguins have taken advantage. Big face-off win there for Sid. Normally Rodriguez takes those face-offs on the right side because he gets a little more of an advantage, but he got tossed out that particular time, and Crosby was able to win it back on his forehand. That's a tough win to be able to do that. Let's take one more look at that offensive zone face-off here for the Penguins. Look at Rodriguez. False start. He gets kicked out, so Sid's got to come in. You got to wonder, how are you going to win this back on your forehand? Well, you got to cheat a little bit. See his right skate? It's way back behind his left. You got to cheat. Got to cheat, Mearsy.
The veterans know all the tricks, don't they?
All the tricks. Well, you're not going to give the veteran a penalty the second time around.
Yeah. What a start from the Penguins. Sidney Crosby extends his point streak, his 4th of the year. And back on the attack, and it's Heinen! He scores! Danton Heinen! The Penguins can't miss in the first 5+ minutes in Seattle. It's 3-0.
Is there going to be a timeout? Because this is This is incredible what's going on right now. That went off a skate again. Did you see that? Heinen's going to shoot this puck, and it's going to go off the skate up high. Riley Sheahan, I believe it goes off his left skate. Let's take a look up high in the zone. Yeah, goes off his left toe and in behind the netminder, who's not on his angle for that one. And they're going to make a goaltending change, even though you can't necessarily blame the goaltender for that one. But you have to kind of stop what's going right now. Stop the bleeding somehow if you're the Kraken. And if you're the Penguins, keep pouring it on.
Joey Decord will step into the crease. Just his 12th National Hockey League game. Played his college hockey at Arizona State. Boston native. And the Penguins up 3-0. Danton Heinen picks up his 7th of the season. And another goal for that newly formed line. Jason Zucker, Jeff Carter, and Danton Heinen. And the Penguins get the start they've been looking for, and then some. 3-0 in the early going at Climate Pledge Arena.
Penguins are sharp. Seattle is not. And that's all it took there. Just a sliver of indecision and I think nervousness almost by the Kraken here to play against the Penguins, and the Penguins are on their game.
Philip Grubauer was very good with Colorado last year, but if you look at some of the analytics, not all that good. You wonder if he benefited from being on a really good team, which he was with the Avalanche. Last season won 30 games. So Joey Decord, 25-year-old, 7th-round draft choice of the Ottawa Senators in 2015. He plays in his first game since a 5-2 loss against Edmonton over a month ago. And a quick exit for Philip Grubauer. Remember, this is a Kraken team that have been playing very well. Big wins, 5-1-1 in their last 7. But it's quiet in Seattle. Here's Dumoulin, steps up with a shot. And looking for the tip in front was Aston Reese.
Well, I guess, you got one or two things there as a coach. Call a timeout or change the goaltender. And they changed the goaltender to give their team a little bit of a break here. A lot of time left in the hockey game. That's the good thing for the Kraken, and maybe it's a good thing for the Penguins.
Canada had contact with Simone. Penguins trying to make a line change here, and a quick up for Seattle. It'll be steered in wide of DeSmith. And back to hop on it is Letang. Letang, Bluger tried to find it. Collision, near side. Morgan Geekie spins it down the wall. Geekie along with Jordan Eberle and Jared McCann. As the Kraken are in the middle of a line change, and it's skated out by Bluger. He's on the line with McGinn. That's Kapanen, goes to McGinn. Center right in front. Never got through to Kapanen. Kapanen looking for it. Decord, though, able to close it off and just slow things down for the Seattle Kraken. 13:05 to go. First period, all black and gold in the first 7 minutes. Carter, then Crosby, and Danton Heinen. 3-love Pittsburgh. Early goals for the Pittsburgh Penguins. A 3-0 score. Not even 7 minutes into this game. Let's take a look at the barrel forward leader. Jake Guentzel has extended his point scoring streak with the assist on the Crosby goal, make it 13 in a row. Longest active streak in the National Hockey League, and 17 points in that stretch. And we could just go on and on with what he's been able to do. Well, just the goal scoring, 10 in the last 11 games.
Yeah, he's just been on fire right now. And Crosby's seemingly getting better each and every game. He's had 3-point games in 2 of the last 4. And when you get a couple of goals early in games, you get some hop in your step, Mearsy. You get some pep in your step. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a little more up their sleeve here tonight. Look at the shots.
Yeah,
again.
that tells the story, doesn't it?
7-1 the shots.
7-1 for Pittsburgh, getting 3 goals. And quieting this crowd. There's been some tremendous atmospheres, a lot of energy for this team, as you would expect. And packed houses for the Seattle Kraken in their first 2 months of action. Brian Dumoulin will flip it off the wall. He's got a point here. Penguins have points from 3 of their defensemen so far, so that theme continues. Marino and Pedersen got the helpers on the Danton Heinen goal. He's got a goal and an assist. And Pittsburgh with the 3-0 advantage. Jeff Carter spins it over to Zucker. He will swat the puck in. Joey Decord waiting for it in the trapezoid, but coughs it up to Carter. Carter tried to pass. Blocked away by Mason Appleton. Chips it out to center. Sits inside the line. Skated forward by Will Borgen. Borgen, another one of those players coming back after missing the last 2 due to injury. Heinen tossed it right off of Appleton. Back to Morgan. End of a shift for the Carter line, realizing that they will head off. Zucker looking over at the bench, waiting for the right time to do the same, but he's got the puck here in the neutral zone. He'll be able to fling it in on Joey Decord. Now Marcus Johansson. Johansson, one of several experienced players for the Kraken. A couple of themes, a lot of guys with playoff experience and guys that are coming off of career years. They acquired in the offseason, either through the expansion draft or through free agency. Jonas Donskoy took a check. And now Riley Sheahan is out there, number 15, one of 4 former Penguins in the Kraken lineup tonight. Decord coughed it up. McGinn's shot, though, was blocked. Donato in the way as Decord was scrambling back.
Well, that might have been 4-0 right there if Donato didn't get in the way of that.
Here's Jonas Donskoy, slips it just out of the reach of Donato. Donato trying to recover it now along the end wall. Has to deal with Bluger and Pettersson. It's Marcus Pettersson will tap it up the wall, waiting for Morgan with the shot. And it looked like glanced off the stick of Marino, who was in front. Pittsburgh will be able to get it out. Teddy Bluger advances it, heads off on a change with 10.5 to go in the first.
You can hear the crowd, the excitement that they want to bring to this game on shots that are even 10 feet wide of the net, Mearsy. So, you know, it's a crowd that's getting into the game. A lot of them know hockey, some of them don't, and they're just excited they have a team here.
32nd franchise in the National Hockey League. The Seattle Kraken, they have packed this building, and it is beautiful. Climate Pledge Arena. Players tumbling down behind Casey DeSmith. He's got 2 saves so far. Work back to an empty point, and a play by Adam Larson toward Morgan Geekie. Geekie, number 67, playing on that line with McCann and Tanev. This is Adam Larson, former Edmonton Oiler, shifting his way past Drew O'Connor. Good pressure from O'Connor. Larson denied entry, and has to tap it back.
A lot of pride in the way the Penguins are playing their game right now. You know, you get Crosby back in the lineup, you can slot guys back into their positions. A guy like Jeff Carter, he was absorbing a lot of minutes early in the season, and you got to give him a little bit of a break. You know, you just can't play 82 at 36 years of age with this tightened schedule all the time with the minutes he was having to absorb. And I guess Malkin's on the trip too, Mearsy.
Yes, he is. He's been skating. This lead pass for Crosby was beyond his reach.
Well, I saw he was eating some sushi. I don't know if he's...
yeah, if you follow him on Instagram, you had plenty to choose from.
Boy, well, there's some good food out there on that coast.
After the game Saturday in Vancouver, puck is redirected in here. Under 9 to go in the first. Decord is going to drop it off for Adam Larson.
Well, they've settled it down a little bit here, the Kraken, with the goaltending change. And the Penguins are fine with that.
So important for this line to get going. Danton Heinen 2 points. Goal from Jeff Carter. Jason Zucker on the score sheet with an assist. And a 3-0 score.
Well, they put Heinen, they flip-flopped him, and Kapanen moved down the lineup. So they're hoping the Kapanen can follow suit and get involved as well.
Puck will slide all the way back to Joey Decord. Long lead pass. Here's Appleton along with Wenberg. Wenberg holding, trying to go backdoor. Couldn't connect with Johansson. Then from the wing, his shot on net is stopped by DeSmith.
Nice job by Decord to get that puck up to the far blue line. That goaltender being able to play the puck.
Alexander Wenberg. Intercepted by Letang. Goes over to Dumoulin. He will size things up as he skates out the center. Plenty of room and snaps it in. There's Decord already. Seen him a few times playing that puck. Teddy Bluger on the forecheck along with Kasperi Kapanen. Penguins force the turnover. Kapanen flings it in behind the goal. Decord again will play it. Jonas Donskoy with a touch. It will slither out to center. A good stick from McGinn. Back to the Penguin defense. Mike Matheson along with Chad Ruedel. Penguins going with the exact same lineup aside from the goaltending change. McGinn losing an edge. Bluger works it back to Matheson. Tries a shot. It's over the head of Joey Decord. Larson throws a check. Chad Ruedel fish it out. Again, the Penguins just great puck support. But Larson is going to fade back, and Pittsburgh going to peel off on a personnel change.
Yeah, not a lot of whistles. You get a game going like this when you're up 3-0. You want to keep your shift short, roll it over. Just gain lines. Red line, dump it in if you don't have a play. Those kind of things. Just keep all the lines rotating.
It's been so good on the road. 6-3-3, wrapping up this portion of the road trip. Part of 5 straight on the road. Next one's in Washington on Friday. This is Yanni Gourde. 2 cups last 2 years with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Back up high to Vince Dunn. Gourde to Dunn from the point. Wrist shot stopped by DeSmith. No worries there with Schwartz hovering around the crease. And we got 6:29 to go in period number 1. The iconic Space Needle in Seattle. 3-0 for the Pens.
Feel right at home in the new home of the Seattle Kraken. And if you would like to get to know Seattle and the Kraken better, well, if you're a Penguin fan, it's easy to do so. There are many familiar names that make up their roster and their front office. Steve Mears talked about the 4 men that are on the ice tonight in McCann, Tanev, Shan, and Alexiak. But look at the front office. What would Gary Roberts do? Well, now you know he's in Seattle. And Dan Bilesma, an assistant coach for their AHL affiliate in Charlotte. Penguins West, maybe?
That's a lot of names, Dan. And you know they're in good hands with Ron Francis. Of course, 8 years as a player with the Penguins, 2 Stanley Cups, 4 years as Carolina's GM. Look at the success the Hurricanes have had lately. A lot of that can be traced back to Ron Francis. McCann to the net. That's kicked out by DeSmith.
His best save of the game.
Has to make another one up against the post. Pressure from McCann, Tanev, and Geekie. Here's Brandon Tanev trying to drag it free and then try to pass. He was defended well by Matheson. McCann banks it back to the line. Vince Dunn cuts down the middle as the puck sails wide of DeSmith. Activating is Adam Larson. Larson will pass behind the net, but it eludes the stick of Tanev, and out to center it comes. Here's Beluga tapping it forward, intended for McGinn, but broken up by Larson. And now it's Morgan Geekie. Scored his first 2 NHL goals in Pittsburgh a couple of years ago. Carter's lead pass was behind Heinen, but now it's Zucker. Tees it up. Shot smacks off the glass. Jamie Alexiak, one of those 4 former Penguins, out there defensively along with Carson Soucy, number 28. He fumbles the puck, coughed up. Zucker with a chance, spins it over to Carter. He's robbed by DeCord.
Wow, DeCord coming off the bench cold, and he has been on fire so far.
Jeff Carter is over the line, but the whistle sounds.
Is there a bad change there? Or is it an offside? Another turnover leads to a great opportunity, but the left toe of DeCord.
With a 3-0 lead in Seattle in the first period. Brian Dumoulin with an assist on the Crosby goal. 100th career point. So a nice milestone for the Pens defenseman. Seattle a long way from Biddeford, Maine.
A long way.
Hometown of Brian Dumoulin. 7th year now at Pittsburgh. He's got points in back-to-back games. Going back to that theme, Bob, that we talked about in the open, getting the defense a little bit more involved. And now we see 3 defensemen on the score sheet so far.
Yeah, when you need them, you want them to be there. The Penguins got away from it, I thought, a little bit. They didn't need a lot of scoring as they really shorted up here defensively, but when you need it, you'd like to have it. You know, the Kraken have some guys. Even a guy like Alexiak can move up. So, you know, they're going to be very aggressive as we move on here in this hockey game. Borgen's another guy. You can see his ability to skate. But the Penguins, you could see it in the last game. I think they added it to their repertoire. Each and every one of them can do it. We've seen Pettersson up on the rush.
Yes.
Time and time again here this season, including the last game.
Very much involved in the attack. We highlighted John Marino, some of the plays he made in Vancouver. You have to have a penalty in this game. The special teams is a big part of the narrative on Saturday night with the Penguins power play cashing in a couple of times. Here's Adam Larson, snaps a shot that is hit. And it's off the glove, it looked like, of Jake Gensel, and he will immediately head off. Hopefully everything okay with Penguins' top scorer. Joey DeCord's going to tee it up behind the net. That was Inner Wenberg, longtime Columbus Blue Jacket. Skips in on Casey DeSmith. Wenberg along with Ryan Donato. Donato will sweep it around. Will Borgen with a touch up high. But fanning and falling down was Jonas Donskoy. A puck back into Kraken ice. Jonas Donskoy played against the Penguins in the 2016 Stanley Cup Final with San Jose. Another one of those guys, a lot of playoff experience, and a few Stanley Cup champions. Schwartz done with St. Louis. Already talked about Yanni Gourde, back-to-back cups with Tampa. There's Decord venturing out once again.
He loves to play the puck, this Decord, does he not? I love it. He's helping his team out a little bit. And that can alleviate the pressure of a forecheck. You know, those goaltenders that can handle the puck makes it very difficult. You got to worry about where you put the puck when you dump it in.
1-6-1 in his NHL career. This one spun in front. Yanni Gourde connects with Jordan Eberle, former New York Islander. Gets it over to Jaden Schwartz. He delays and then slips it on goal and brushed aside by Casey DeSmith. Get word that Jake Guentzel is on the bench. And that's good news. Here's Eberle trying to dangle. Poke check by DeSmith. Gets that puck out of harm's way. Jaden Schwartz recovers it for Seattle. With the turn, down to the ice went Yanni Gourde. Activating with Soucy. Matheson, good play to drag it away from Gourde. Get some separation.
It's a tough line right there. Gourde is a real digger. He'll put his nose down and really get involved. And Schwartz is a smart hockey player that just goes up and down and can do a lot of things. Can score goals when you need it. Goes to the net. Love the way he plays the game. And of course, Eberle's always been a thorn in the Penguins side.
I was going to say the third guy. Don't need to elaborate much on him. The numbers he's put up the last few years with the Islanders against Pittsburgh. This one on goal, fought off by DeSmith. And the Penguins able to escape to center ice. Jason Zucker rammed to the glass by Larson. So the energy level picks up. Morgan Geekie with a long lead pass. Here comes Jared McCann. He hits the brakes on the backhand. Now to the forehand in front for Geekie. The shot back in front. Unable to finish was Tanev. He was covered well, and Zucker will clear for the Pens.
Couple good shifts here, back-to-back for Seattle. The Smith standing up tall here when he's needed.
Morgan Geekie. He worked over by Marcus Pettersson. Pettersson helped out by Guentzel. That's good news. Jake is back out there. Rodriguez pass behind Crosby. Guentzel trying to move it north. Could do so with the puck, and now resetting. Here's Carson Soucy. He slams it through the neutral zone. Pursued by Guentzel. Cancels out with Johansson. Tap forward. Crosby to Rodriguez. Evan Rodriguez delays. Feathers it down the wall. Soucy turned it over. Shot attempt from Rodriguez. He gets dropped to the ice by Alexiak. We got 90 seconds to go in the first. And the Penguins with a 3-0 lead. They scored 3 times in the first 5 minutes.
McGinn out there with Crosby and Rodriguez. Jake was out there. I'm not sure how long after he got hit on the hand, the backside.
This is Alexander Wenberg, former Columbus Blue Jacket, career year last year with Florida. Jonas Donskoy in front, intended for Donato. He was calling for it. Puck never got there. Donato setting up behind. To the circle it goes. Borgen. The feed down low for Donato. Donato. Marino draped all over him. Former college teammates. Loosened by Kapanen. He gets it back. And he will just chip it back into Seattle ice. And motoring forward is Teddy Bluger. He gets clobbered by Lauzon.
Well, they've become got a lot more physical here, and their defense is, I believe they lead the National Hockey League, their defense in hits, and there's another big one there.
30 seconds to go in the period. Coasting back is Dumoulin. Dumoulin connects with Carter. And fluttered over to Heinen. Penguins stymied right at the line. Emerging with possession is Jordan Eberle. Out the last 2 games, but 9 goals in his last 12. Been one of the top scorers for Seattle. He and Jaden Schwartz leading their team in point scoring. 8 seconds left. Letang throws it off the wall. Heinen couldn't get it out. Tap down low. Eberle on the backhand. Puck goes behind, and the horn sounds. So definitely some pushback there from Seattle. Bobby talked about the physicality. Started to pick up the scoring chances as well, and they emerged with a 10-8 shots advantage. Coming up in the first intermission, presented by your neighborhood Ford store with Robbie and Jay. Dan Potash will be speaking with Danton Heinen, who had a goal and an assist in that first period. We'll have all the highlights and analysis. Fast and furious start from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Goals from Jeff Carter, Sidney Crosby, and Danton Heinen. 10 saves from Casey DeSmith as well. 3-0 for the Black and Gold.
Now, Penguins intermission. Presented by your neighborhood Ford store.
How about a 3-0 start there for the Penguins at brand new Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle? That is the score after one period of play over the expansion Seattle Kraken here on AT&T Sportsnet as we welcome you to the First Intermission Report, brought to you by your neighborhood Ford store with Jay Caulfield. I'm Robbie Ince-Mikowski. We'll hear from Jay in just a moment, but first, Danton Heinen was one of the goal scorers. In fact, he made it 3-0 Penguins. And now he's standing by to talk about the first 20 minutes with our Dan Potash, brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine.
Well, Dan, I know it's been a couple games since you started skating with Zucker and Carter on the same line. A couple points for you already tonight. How important is it to have results early on when you make a change to a different line and start playing with different guys?
Yeah, I think it helps. I think, those are two great players, and, just trying to gain some chemistry. And, like you said, to see a couple go in is definitely good for confidence.
I know you couldn't ask for a better start as a whole, as a team, in a brand new city against a brand new team, but it really seemed like Seattle started to enforce their physicality towards the end of that first period. Do you expect more of the same as they look to get back into this game in the second?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we're happy with their start, but, they got pride in there, and you could see the pushback. So, we got to tighten it up a little there and get back to the way we started, and I think we'll be fine.
All right, Danton, thanks so much. Good luck in the second period.
All right, yeah, thank you.
So Danton Heinen, 7th goal of the season, made it 3-0. When we come back, Jay's going to illustrate the Jeff Carter goal that opened the scoring.
AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Barrel Ford. With the Barrel Ford Fast Pass, buy your next car online and on your terms. By AAA, get your free full picture quote at AAA Auto Insurance. And by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store.
Jeff Carter, Sidney Crosby, Danton Heinen, all in the first 5 minutes and 7 seconds of that first period. And that's where we stand right now as the Penguins scored 3 times in their first 4 shots as we welcome you back to the First Intermission Report, brought to you by your neighborhood Ford store. It's time for Jay's illustration. And Jay, you're going to take us through the Jeff Carter goal, which opened the scoring tonight. What did you see?
Yeah, you heard Bobby even at the end of during the period. But Seattle did look a little nervous. They were chopping it up in the first couple minutes. This is one example of it. And Grubauer wasn't able to make the saves, and this one's off him. So it starts right away here. Zucker had an opportunity, but the puck rolled on him or hopped on him. So it bounces up in the air, but watch it stay alive. Defenseman goes down. Zucker on the puck right here on the wall. They can't get it out. One more time now, the same defenseman reaching. The long reach of Carter here kind of reminds me of like Mario had such a long reach. You'll watch it from a different angle and see what Carter's got. They got the long reach, the long stick, keep the play alive, and you're going to see Zucker come in, Heinen come in. It's like a quick transition almost inside from the blue line in. Watch the work by Zucker. Carter opens up a nice little dish. I believe this play in front of the net, just by Zucker trying to get body position, which he does, takes the mind away. I believe Grubauer kind of was preoccupied with what Zucker was doing, realizing this puck is coming across. It's off his stick and in the back of the net. And we'll watch right here. I want you to take a peek. This is what I'm talking about, the long reach, long stick of Carter. Kind of just casually with a stride, has control of the puck, bumps it right here, now to Heinen. And again, the battle right here, just the work by Zucker in front. That's what's going to take up Grubauer. He knows he's there. He's going to try and stop the pass from getting across. Not his night, because off the stick and in the back of the net. But again, the Penguins were attacking in the first 5 minutes of that period. They got to Seattle. That did look nervous, chopping it up a little bit. Grubauer just didn't have any luck, and then things were getting through him. Penguins off to a quick 1-0 lead there, and we know it's 3-0 now. But again, great work. The Penguins were attacking. That line, the Carter line, obviously very big in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, another storyline. Jake Gensel now extended his longest current streak in the National Hockey League in terms of points, 13 games in a row. He's been on some kind of roll right now. Here's our Fort Pitt Capital Group by the numbers after that first period of play. Jake, quickly, does anything stand out numbers-wise?
Oh, just look, obviously no power plays. They're looking to make it the hits. It's just kind of it was really the first 5 minutes, Robbie. That's what this was about. Seattle ends up with more opportunities, and we got to say, Casey DeSmith stayed solid through the first 20.
Casey DeSmith looking for the first win of the 2021-2022 season for him. Off to a good start thus far as the Pens scored 3 times in their first 4 shots, including this one by Sidney Crosby at the 4:41 mark, his 4th goal of the season. It's 3-0 Pens after 1.
Copyrighted telecast or reserved. This copyrighted telecast is presented by AT&T Sportsnet under the authority of Pittsburgh Penguins LP. This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, rebroadcasted, re-recorded, or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of Pittsburgh Penguins LP.
Carter, Crosby, Heinen, the 3 goal scorers, all in the span of 5 minutes and 7 seconds, or excuse me, the first 5 minutes, 7 seconds in that first period of play. As we get a look at the Space Needle, not far from Climate Pledge Arena, just a hair outside of downtown Seattle, as we welcome you back to the First Intermission Report, brought to you by your neighborhood Ford store. So, Jay, you look at the first 5:07, the Pens score 2 goals 2 and 3 within a 16-second span, but they make a goalie change, and Seattle kind of picks it up a little bit. Yeah, it really is what happened. We talked about in pregame about shutting the crowd down. Well, the Penguins certainly did that, but then after a while, the goalie changes Robbie just talked about, you know, they had to find some life, a little bit of pride. You heard Danton Heinen talk about that. They're a team that's coming out there, and they showed a little more effort as the game went on, ended up with the better opportunities, you know, better shot chances at the end of the day, were the greater ones, 10-8. But again, they're going to come out. They have to come out with fire, or otherwise, you know, again, we're all being evaluated. Bad first start to it, but they finished out strong. I expect Seattle to be much better to start this second period. Yeah, and that crowd is rocking out there. They are so excited to have hockey, selling out every game. Yeah. But the Penguins did shut them right down. Took the crowd out really early. Danton Heinen was one of the goal scorers. You heard Jay mention a moment ago. It was his 7th goal of the season at the 5:07 mark. Here it is right here, and that is the end of the night for Philip Grubauer. Joey Decourt is between the pipes for Seattle. It is 3-0 Penguins at the first intermission.
Lead after 20 minutes of play against the Seattle Kraken. Bob, let's take a look back at that first period. What happened to Jake Guentzel?
You know, Larson with the shot hit Jake in the right hand. He's trying to block it, and he does. Dropped the stick right away. He went down the runway, came back, took a half a shift, and then went back down. But he's here to start this second period, and that is great news. Great news for the Penguins.
He's extended his point scoring streak to 13 games. Now 13 goals on the year, entering this one here tonight as an assist tonight, but getting into the top 10 in overall goal scoring in the NHL. Social media post brought to you by Point Park University. Chad says, as I'm typing this, they scored again. Yeah, it was you get a goal, you get a goal, you get a goal in the first 5 minutes. Carter, then Crosby, and then Danton Heinen. Shame on you for 6 weeks if you missed it. And yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. Late night hockey. Not quite to Night Owl Club yet, Mike Lang's Night Owl Club, but we'll get there.
What a start for the Penguins, and that was the end of the night for Grubauer, wasn't it? And then Joey Decourt came in, and a little nugget about Joey Decourt. He and Austin Lemieux played together at Arizona State University in 2018-2019, and there he is, Joey Decourt. Decourt played 3 years there. Austin played a couple of years, and he looked pretty sharp in that period, I must say. He really likes to handle the puck.
With Ottawa last year, Joey Decourt at Arizona State 2019 went 21-13-1. Was claimed in the expansion draft, the Ottawa Senators. Decourt back in. It was Philip Grubauer who started. Gave up the 3 goals.
Only one referee out there right now, Mearsies, and no Sidney Crosby on the bench, so look out.
Decourt tested early on, and a follow-up by Heinen. Decourt wasn't quite sure where that puck was, but it's in the paraphernalia somewhere. So yeah, we got a lot going on here in the first minute.
So, you know, back in the old days, there was only one referee and the 2 linesmen, so he'll be in charge of calling all the goals, and the linesmen will be in charge of their lines at each respective zone. And then as far as Sidney Crosby goes, he's going to have to wait on that report, guys. We had no idea. There's Guentzel and Rodriguez, and an empty spot there beside the 2 of them. And the lines always sit together. And most of the time, except Phil Kessel, he sat by himself at the end of the bench. Hi, Phil.
His spot.
Yeah, that's his spot.
It's Jaden Schwartz, who's working in against Letang. We'll keep you updated, hear any more about Sidney Crosby. And just good news that Jake Guentzel is back out there. Shot from Alexiak. Off the body, went wide of DeSmith. Casey DeSmith with 10 saves in period number 1. Seattle had 6 giveaways. The Penguins had 0. The attempts were 15-12 in favor of the Kraken.
Well, that first giveaway led to the Carter goal.
This is slipped off the wall by Pedersen. Lateral pass connects with Marino. He's over the line. Marino for Bluger. Takes the check. He gets wrapped up by Adam Larson. Trying to fish it out of there is Vince Dunn for Seattle. 2-on-2 scrum. And you get the close-up look as Bluger was digging for possession. Jordan Eberle navigates to the red line, and he will backhand in. Yanni Gourde goes into the forward check, drops a shoulder into Marcus Pedersen. Kasperi Kapanen racing ahead. He's leaned on by Donskoy. Couldn't enter cleanly, and it's back to Dunn. Dunn for Larson. Wristed forward and deflects into the bench. Penguins' next game is Friday against Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. Reminder, you can watch that game exclusively on ESPN Plus or Hulu. First of 4 games, part of the new national TV package this year that are exclusively on those streaming services, ESPN Plus or Hulu. You can check ESPN Plus or Hulu for more subscription information. So just keep that in mind. You have to have those subscription services. And great news that Sidney Crosby is back out there.
That is great news, and great news that he's taken the face off. So, you know, just never know.
And here he comes with Jake, trying to lob it in front, and it got blocked. Worked up the wall, held in by Ruido, got it toward the slot, and it will be skated away by Adam Larson. Larson driving on in. Defended by Matheson, got it on net. A little sneak attack there. Casey DeSmith is able to stay with it.
Yeah, Casey might have been cheating a little bit to his right side, expecting Larson to pass that across the crease. And when the puck went right to his feet, that posed a little bit of an issue. Yeah, you could see he was moving off that post just a little bit, anticipating that he was going to have to push left to right. And this puck skips on the way in. It kind of gets some air right there. Tough save. That puck was kind of whipped in there off the stick of Larson. Like he was playing highlight or something.
Casey DeSmith, pretty good effort. His last outing, November 27, just 3 goals against on 31 shots. The final score made it look worse because the Canadiens scored 3 empty net goals. It was a 6-3 loss against the Canadiens, but certainly gave the Penguins a chance in that one. He's looking for his first win of the year. We'll take a look at the UPMC Sports Medicine injury update of Genny Malkin. As Bob said earlier, he has been skating. Had a scheduled off day yesterday. Brian Rust is not on the trip. He is missing his 6th consecutive game. And even though the Penguins are getting closer to some semblance of health, we got to remind everybody that those are 2 really important players to this team. You know, the Penguins are still without Malkin and Rust. Smith will drop it off for Letang. Flipped down by Will Borgen. Activated from the point is Jeremy Lauzon. He's straightened up by Letang. Dan Hyman is back there to help out the defense. Letang trying to loosen the puck. Just kicks over to Brian Dumoulin. He's got an opening and will knuckle it back to center. Striding back is the forward Morgan Geekie. Jeremy Lauzon picked up in the expansion draft from Boston. He cuts on in, goes to the far side, and up the skate of Geekie. It will ricochet down low. Trying to find it, McCann. Gensel plays it away from him, and swirling around the net is Marino. Marino with a great skating. Carries over the line with authority. Wanted to drop it off for Gensel. Jammed away from him. Forced out by Alexander Wenberg. A hand pass will stop play. 3 minutes and 3 seconds in. Again, our social media post brought to you by Point Park University. Taylor Haas with this one from Evgeny Malkin's Instagram photo the other night that we talked about. A mile of sushi.
Are you serious?
That was after. That's the post-game meal. Just to let everybody know that's the post-game meal for the team after the game in Vancouver on Saturday, which is Vancouver known for their sushi. A healthy post-game meal.
Wow, that was spectacular.
Gino got first dibs because he's not playing. So you had the first selection there.
That's awesome. We'll take the rainbow roll.
That's your favorite, huh?
Yeah, well, it's my go-to.
Dunn over to Wenberg. Tries a shot. Looked like hit his own man, Marcus Johansson, who was battling in front. Recovered by Crosby. And he'll feed it over to Marino. Hard off the wall and steered out through the neutral zone. Gliding back is Vince Dunn. Won a Stanley Cup with the Blues in 2019. as did Jaden Schwartz. He's tripped up by Aston Reese. Past the middle, chance for Wenberg toward the net, fought off. The follow-up, Eberle, he scores. Who else? Jordan Eberle gets the Kraken on the board here in the second. It's 3-1.
Well, it was a delayed penalty in the neutral zone. I think the Penguins just stopped. They just stopped just for 1 second, one split second. That was enough to allow Seattle to just keep going. Look, you could see Marino. I thought he just didn't play the puck as aggressively as he normally would. He was caught. See, he was flat-footed. And then the play is made, and it's too late. On the 2-on-1, Pettersson can't deny it. Pass through and pass back from Wenberg to Eberle. And just that little letting your guard down a second after the delayed penalty. Of course, you have to touch the puck to get the whistle. The Penguins don't. And the Kraken are back in this hockey game. They got some momentum in the last 5 minutes of the first period. It's carried over. And really, the goaltending change was big for them. It really gave them a break.
Jordan Eberle, team leading 12th of the season. Penguins trying to respond here. Battling for a captain along with Bluger. Eberle seemed to score with regularity against the Penguins when he was a member of the New York Islanders regular season and postseason. Wenberg and Schwartz get the assists, and it's the Kraken who will get one past Casey DeSmith. Now we will have a penalty call here. Jaden Schwartz took some contact.
It might be both players. Let's take a look, see what the referee's called.
And that's Yanni Gourde, who is
arguing the way
his case.
Yeah, he's arguing the way the linesman's dropping the puck. He's not arguing that the Penguins got the penalty, and it is going to go against Pittsburgh here. A high stick in their own zone. When you score on that delayed penalty, you don't get the power play. That was obvious there, as we saw. But now, Gourde is able to kind of keep that stick in his face, as you could see. Kind of sold that one a little bit there, but you know, the stick's up in his face.
So the Kraken do get the game's first power play chance, and the Penguins will look to their league best penalty kill once again. That has killed off 25 in a row over the last 10 games. Still #1 in the NHL. There's the percentage, 91.8%. It has been remarkable this year. It starts with that face-off, and Zach Aston-Reese is going to dump it back to center. Kraken power play has been much better lately. Scored in 8 of the last 12 games. After a slow start, Carter and Zach Aston-Reese. Two forwards out here for Mike Sullivan.
Well, Jordan Eberle had scored more goals against Tristan Jarry than any active player in postseason or regular play. So they try Casey DeSmith, and he still scores.
Doesn't matter. Jordan Eberle with the goal for Seattle here tonight. He's out there now, number 7. Penguins, good job on the stand-up just inside the line, and it will be cleared. Yeah, it's 19 goals in 39 games, regular season and postseason for Eberle. Kraken on the power play with Vince Dunn. Dropping it back, Jared McCann. No surprise, he leads their team in power play goals just as he did last year for Pittsburgh. This is tap forward, a breakaway shorthanded. Teddy Bluger in on goal, and stopped by Decord. Bluger looking for the Penguins' first shorty of the season, and put a star next to that save from Joey Decord.
What a play by McGinn at the far blue line. He was able to knock it out of the air, sent the puck the other way. Gensel, or sorry, that is the Gensel move. Bluger tried the Gensel move, tried to open up those wickets. We saw him scoring a breakaway forehand deke a few games back. And this one he tried to go to the backhand. Just not enough pace on that puck for it to get through. Great play by McGinn. He intercepted a play right at the blue line and sent the puck the other way.
So Teddy Bluger stopped on the shorthanded breakaway. Carter now looks for one, tries a shot, and looked like it went off of Soucy and up and out of play.
Let's take a look at the play McGinn makes at the far blue line here, penalty killing it right out of the air. Knocked that puck down and then chips it down for Bluger. So he doesn't ice it. He puts it in an area where Bluger can get to it. So smart. Love the plays. So part of the reason why McCann and Tanev aren't here is because they had an idea to bring McGinn in. Mersey, that's just the way the business works. That's what McCann said. No hard feelings, but you know these guys, They do have some hard feelings.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Well, he was very diplomatic.
Very.
Yeah, it's a business, but he also said they didn't want me.
Okay, well, there you go.
He was speaking with the media earlier this morning in Seattle. Good keep at the line by Dunn. And flicks it across the ring for Eberle. This is Vince Dunn. Eberle is an option. He'll swing it over to that far side. Vince Dunn, guarded by Aston Reese. Down to the goal line, Johansson for Wenberg. Dunn over to Eberle. 13 to go, and penalty to Mike Matheson. Marcus Johansson. Vince Dunn fires a shot. Bodies in front of Casey DeSmith. The follow-up backhander wouldn't go for Donskoy. Back around, jumps the stick of Johansson. That will do it for the Matheson penalty, so make it 26 in a row. 26 straight kills for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Remarkable. Only 5 power play goals against all year. Historically good.
Well, when I was killing penalties, I loved when the power play just passed it around for 30 seconds, and that's what Seattle did for a while there as the Penguins were defending. To break down penalty kills, you have to shoot the puck.
Kicks around, unable to grab it was Crosby. Gensel. Now Marino's going to open up, tries a shot, and was blocked at the top by Tanev. Kraken scurry ahead, pass attempt though, doesn't get through, and Penguins capture it up the change of possession. Crosby to Gensel, trying to shift his way past Alexiak. Back in front, Crosby with the chance of the setup from Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets it back to the top for Pettersson. Shot punched away by Decord with the blocker. Yanni Gourde will maneuver out the center. His teammates in need of a change.
Look at this.
Why not pass back to your goaltender?
Why not? The way he can handle it, I'd pass back. He's so aggressive. The way he stopped Crosby there, the way he's played the puck. You don't pass the puck back to your goaltender like that unless you've done it before and you know he can handle it. And we've seen it already. It didn't take long to recognize Decord can play the puck.
He's really the third string goaltender for the Kraken. Their second goalie, Chris Drieger, is injured. Hold of the line by Dumoulin. Dumoulin for McGinn, trying to spin it in front for Kapanen. Donskoy with the outlet pass, unable to stop it was Geekie. That's an icing call against Seattle.
Now let's take a look at Rodriguez to Sidney Crosby. Rodriguez going to take a look right here. Oh, there he is. I know where I'm going when I get to this puck. Ooh, that was a pretty good shot and a better save there by Decord. Maybe if that puck was up another inch, it would have gone over that left pad. Nice play by Rodriguez. You got to know where you're going before you get there.
I love the chemistry there with that whole trio. We know about Gensel and Crosby, but Rodriguez has done so well there on that right wing side in the absence of Brian Rust.
The defense here of Seattle been out for a minute and a half. Let's see if the Penguins were trying to hem him in there. And the second period is tough. They can't get that change. The bench is on the other side of the red line.
Yeah, coming up on 2 minutes for Alexiak on the shift. Number 24 there. Under heavy pressure. Second attempt got it forward. Donskoy into the skates of McCann. Again, the Kraken can't get cleanly through the neutral zone. Those players have to stay out there, and Decord, realizing that, wisely covers up. And now Seattle will be able to change.
Nice smart play by the netminder. They haven't put one by him yet. Let's go to the fish bar.
It's a great city. Seattle 3-1 Pittsburgh in the second.
Well, if you didn't know, Seattle enjoyed pro hockey many years ago with the Metropolitans, who, by the way, won the 1917 Stanley Cup. Now, defenseman Gord Fraser did not play on that squad, but was a member of the last Metropolitan team in 1924. Where'd he go after that? Well, he spent several seasons in Pittsburgh, 1929, 1930 with the Pittsburgh Pirates, 30 to 32 with the Yellow Jackets, and then, as good as those Metropolitan jerseys were, he got to wear the great ones, the Pittsburgh Shamrocks, from 1935 to 1936.
Dan, thanks very much. Yeah, rich history that predates this iteration of the pro team, much like in Pittsburgh. A lot of great hockey history before the Penguins. Vince Dunn snaps it in. And a good stop by DeSmith behind the goal. And the shot attempts 21-18 in favor of Seattle. We'll get a message from Sheely's Furniture, Appliances, and Mattresses.
Penguins hockey is brought to you by Sheely's Furniture, Appliances, and Mattresses, the official furniture and mattress supplier of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
We get a look at Ty Hennis on the bench for the Pens. Kent Washington native, returning home, and skills skating development coach. Also played at Boston College with Brian Boyle and Brooks Orpik, among others. Zach Aston-Reese saucers it across the rink. Dominic Simone catching up to it, written off aggressively by Lauzon. Aston-Reese, contact with Borgen, slipped up the boards and will be redirected out by Gord, twisted along by Schwartz, but he coughs it up to Simone. Simone up to the blue line, on the flip in. Joey Decord, how many touches has he had?
Yeah, you got to keep it away from him. You can't just lollygag it in, but fine, he'll just throw it around the glass, come right back out.
Either soft in the corners or really hard around.
Yeah, yeah.
Lauzon, Schwartz. Got stepped into by Chad Ruedel. Back to retrieve is Mike Matheson.
Look at him skate. Look out.
He's played a one-handed out as he was falling down, but it comes to Soucy. He's over the line. Carson Soucy looks, the centering pass. Goes all the way through, back over to Sheahan. Sheahan, contact with McGinn, battled for, trickled wide of the net. Matheson now on the backhand, has to go glass and not out. Alexiak on the hold. Here's Donskoy. Slips it low slot, punched away by Ruedel. Ryan Donato will sweep it around. Trying to catch up to it. McGinn comes to Soucy, and good pressure from McGinn. Forced the puck out, and now motoring in is Kapanen. Left it for McGinn. The poke check, and it's out the center.
Donato, 3 goals in his last 4 hockey games, starting to make a name for himself here.
With San Jose last year. 2 years Boston, 2 years Minnesota. Vince Dunn raced for contact against Kapanen and then lost control of the puck. Again, McGinn, he's all over the place with the spin, trying to feed Kapanen. That's broken up. Dunn turns it over to McGinn. Now charging out is McCann. Morgan Geekie is down the wing. Geekie on the backhand. Angled off by Marino, past the Dunn. Tip try in front by McCann. And puck to the glass.
He had no glove when he was tipping that puck in.
Teddy Bluger tried to clear and hit one of the Kraken players. A shot attempt from Tanev.
Hit the skate of McCann and went right to Tanev, who just elevated it.
Back to Dunn with the shot. And Rodriguez is there. Puck goes out of play. We've got 8:55 to go in the second period. 3-1 score. It's a beautiful venue. Climate Pledge Arena, the new home of the Seattle Kraken. Pittsburgh up by 2 in the second.
Pittsburgh captain played with Brandon Tanev for just 1 season with the Penguins, but the Kraken winger had an impact on him. Cappy having a little fun on picture day back in September, where he tried to capture or create Brandon's "Don't Blink" headshot from last year. A Kodak moment that became so popular, well, that Brandon did it again with the Kraken this year. Eyes wide open.
He topped it. I saw some cardboard cutouts in the stands in their last game. That headshot. Said he saw a ghost last year. Larson shooting.
It's like that emoji, isn't it?
Yeah. Kapanen should have kept that one, I think, for his main headshot this season. Shot by Schwartz, never got through to DeSmith. It'll be scooped up by Dumoulin, wedges that one high, and gloved down by Schwartz. But will be skated out by Zucker. Zucker along with Carter and Heinen. Go to Heinen, he's right there and trying to feed it to Carter, who was set up at the top of the crease.
Boy, that was a good sliding play. Schwartz was down on the ice trying to deny that pass.
Now Letang punches it down low. Carter to open ice. Picked up by Adam Larson. Adjusting, trying to, was Gord. Puck was behind him, and now it's Letang who will drift back. Letang, 11 assists in his last 15 games. They have a 3-point game on Saturday in Vancouver. Appleton making things difficult for Letang, but eventually the Penguins able to break it out. And it's Rodriguez. We'll send it over to the far side. Rich shot sails in, and Joey Decord. No worries on that one. Penguins' next home game is December 11th against the Anaheim Ducks. You can log on to PittsburghPenguins.com or scan that QR code on your screen to purchase your tickets for Penguins home games this season. So that'll be a back-to-back over the weekend. Again, the Penguins in Washington on Friday, then the home game against the Anaheim Ducks. Looking forward to seeing the throwback 90s uniforms and also seeing the Anaheim Ducks, who've been maybe the surprise team in the entire NHL. Had some really talented young players. This should be a good game.
Looking forward to that one. I was looking forward to this one, and this one's got a long way to go, I'll tell you that. These games are tough to play. You score 3, you get up early. Tough to stay on your toes. You figure, hey, 3 might be enough to win the game. Maybe we can just maybe coast a little bit. Not coast, but just, play it easy. Don't try to score anymore. Just play more defensive. You got to bring it.
Here's Jake Guentzel looking for Crosby.
That forehand redirection there for Crosby. He got the blade of the stick on it, but just couldn't put it in the 4x6.
Puck is chipped in by Marcus Johansson. Pettersson gets back. Sweeps it around. Crosby knocked off stride. This is corralled by John Marino. Marino, heavy pressure, pops back up without the puck, and it's Appleton down low for Johansson. Johansson worked over by Guentzel. Pettersson, pass attempt gets blocked, but it's back to Jake. Time and space, and we'll slide it forward for Crosby. Crosby now points in 6 in a row. Got the goal at 4:42 of period number 1. Penguins scored 3 in the first 5 minutes, 7 seconds. Kraken made the goaltending change. They lead in shots 15-13. Not much as far as pucks onto either one of these goaltenders. Casey DeSmith's been good with 14 stops.
Well, Sidney Crosby, take a look at the front side of his blade. He's going to put it down here, and he just chips it over the net at the last second. Just not getting the perfect angle. He's got to get it over the pad. He's in tight quarters. He's being checked by Alexiak. He's flying through the air. That would have been a tall task there, but if anybody could do it, I'd pick that guy.
He's just been heating up with each game that he has played, Sidney Crosby. After a somewhat slow start by his standards, but to be expected. The offseason wrist surgery, the COVID issue, and just trying to get back in the swing of things. And now you see some of the numbers over the last 6 games. Been one of the best players in the league. His usual perch in that role. Brandon Tanev down low for Geekie, coughs it up to Beluga, high flip, and it'll skip into Kraken ice. Played by Kapanen, got bumped by his buddy Tanev. And the Kraken go glassing out. Could be icing, it will be.
Good look at Chris Letang, last defenseman to score for the Penguins. In an overtime situation, it's been a kind of a dry spell for the Penguins on the blue line, trying to get the goal production anyway.
No, this guy can do it. 16 goals twice in his career, 30-plus points each of the last 7 years for Chris Letang. But yeah, it's been since November 4th, that overtime game. After the video review against Philadelphia Flyers, that was the last time the Penguins got a goal from a defenseman. Brian Dumoulin from center red does have assists now in 2 straight. Jake Guentzel swats it along for Crosby. Bounced on him, trying to win the battle, but it leaks out to center, and now picked up by Rodriguez. Quickly over the line to Guentzel. It's Crosby, trying to go back to Dumoulin, but that's intercepted by McCann. Jordan Eberle over the red line, over the blue. Crisscrossing with Geekie. Eberle surveys, goes to the high slot. It was right to Rodriguez. Now Adam Larsson's going to reset. Larsson on the backhand. Took the hit, got it down low. Letang on the hard around. Able to flag it down was Rodriguez. Kraken go D to D. Again, rattled in off the glass. And now it's Yanni Gord centering feed. Tip back up high. Here's Larsson looking, shooting, and that was stopped by DeSmith as it changed direction with all kinds of skates in front.
Slick play by Eberle just to kind of touch that puck back to his defenseman, not cradle it at all. Hit the referee there.
Allowing for the Penguins to enter with Zucker. Zucker along with Heinen. He gets ridden off, still trying to play the puck. Heinen along with Carter. Dunn. Lobbed it over to Jaden Schwartz. He'll pick up some speed. Schwartz gets decked by Zucker. And the Penguins now on the change of possession. Dan Heinen, 2 points tonight. Has the red line. Gets it over the blue. And Larsson will slide it to his left.
Game's got a little bit more physical here.
Zach Aston Reese throwing his weight around. Forced the turnover. Dominic Simon, tight space. Over to Aston Reese. Leans in. Looking for Carter. That gets broken up. Scramble play in the middle. Trickles over to the wall. And it's Simon to Marino. Marino got it knocked down by Sheahan. Sheahan out-muscled by Aston Reese. Drew O'Connor out there for Pittsburgh. Second consecutive game for him. O'Connor with possession. Walks out of the corner. Pass to Marino. Pettersson looking, shooting. Tip try by Simon. stays out, and the puck out of play.
Good hit, a passionate back check here by Jason Zucker on Jaden Schwartz, and then the puck goes the other way in the offensive zone. Zach Aston-Reese.
In Seattle on our AHN scoreboard, as we said, in a rich history of hockey in the city of Seattle. The 1917 Stanley Cup champion Seattle Metropolitans, the first American team to win the Stanley Cup. And as Dan said earlier, we're around until 1924. Seattle Kraken awarded the franchise December 4th, 2018. They named Ron Francis the general manager 7 months later. A lot of people ask, what is a Kraken? Mythical sea creature. The giant octopus. Yeah, very cool jerseys.
Yep, I like it.
Evan Rodriguez trying to recover the puck. Wenberg does. Gets it back on the give and go. Tapped over to Johansson. Drag and shoot. And that floated into Smith. The follow-up chance. Alexiak, he's denied. The Smith keeps it out. And more pushback from the Kraken. That time on the rush.
We've seen a lot of stick battles. Nothing has come easy for either of these teams. There's stick on puck there for Letang. It dribbles into Casey DeSmith. Gets shot right back out and right back in as Alexiak goes to the net. Knuckling puck made it tough for Casey DeSmith. He tried to get it away from Wenberg. And him doing that right here, he's going to push it past Wenberg. Goes right to Alexiak and right back into his breadbasket.
16 saves for Casey DeSmith. Looking at the puck possession, Kraken 57%. That is fairly lopsided. Normally, almost every game, as long as the score is close, it's not a completely one-sided affair. You see that possession relatively close, but 57 is pretty high as far as the overall puck possession tonight, and it belongs to Seattle with that advantage.
Yep. That's what happens again when you're up 3-0. You tend to just play safe. Dump pucks in, and you're not on your toes as much, trying to make as many offensive plays.
Scrambling back to court, sliding, making that stop, trying to bank it in is Zucker. Now it's Morgan Geekie. Pass attempt was blocked by Danton Heinen. Penn's trying to get the cycle game going. Susi inside position on Zucker, looking to wiggle free. Puck was behind him. And now it's Jamie Alexiak. Angled forward for Jared McCann, trying to use that great speed. Back toward the front. DeSmith gets a piece. Morgan Geekie with the chance.
Was that DeSmith with a stick? And then it looked like it was going to be a backdoor slam dunk from McCann. Watch the stick. He's going to turn it over. The back side of it right here to prevent this play. What a play by DeSmith. There's the aerial pass. Oh, wow. That's the way you use it. Not the way Grubauer did when he put it in his own net. That is excellent work by DeSmith to read and react and make that kind of play. Wow. What a play that was. He won't even get a save.
I was just going to say, that's not a save, but it's just as flashy. It deserves just as many accolades as like a highlight reel stop. And what a play. Heads up from Casey DeSmith, keeping this a 3-1 score. Jaden Schwartz tried to jump past Pedersen. This is John Marino, who will stick handle to center along with Brock McGinn. McGinn guarded by Borgen. McGinn trying to feed Kapanen. Sits in the circle. Will Borgen for Seattle. Connects with Gord. Now it's Jordan Eberle. Eberle to Gord. Eberle with the feed back to the point. Lozon all the way over. Done with the drive. Now Eberle below the goal line. Another chance. Schwartz to the net. And DeSmith had to be sharp, which he has been throughout the night.
Well, that mythical creature's turning into something real life form here, Mears, because the Kraken is dangerous right now.
Again, one of the hottest teams in the league coming into this game. 5-1-1 in their previous 7. Really were feeling good about their game. Just a flat start, and the Penguins were able to take advantage. Here comes a 2-on-1. Rodriguez along with Gensel. Tapped over. Gensel there. He scores! Jake Gensel! The guy cannot be stopped. 4-1 for the black and gold.
Well, there's something about skill that, all that effort for the Kraken. And then a beautiful save by DeSmith. Watch Rodriguez, just a little hard pass He was waiting for the stick of the defenseman to turn. Right there. Stick turns and he's able to, there's a little area there when Dunn moved his stick. And that's where Rodriguez went for the hard pass right onto the tape. And Gensel just waited a second. He waited enough for Decord to go down. He can't stay up all the time. He had to go down. Puck went up. I just love everything about two cerebral hockey players on their offsides on that 2-on-1. And that was tough. That was tough for any goaltender to make a save on that, but that was just a beautiful play by two skilled hockey players.
What a big goal, too, because Kraken were mounting the attack, and now it's the Penguins again on the rush. 3-on-1. Here's Letang off the pads of the board, and then back in front, Carter. He scores. He finds a way. How did he tip that one in? 5-1 Pittsburgh.
He tipped it in with one hand on a spinning puck, and I have no idea how this puck went in. Unbelievable play. Reaches out with one hand and chips it back towards the net. It may go off Alexiak. Nonetheless, watch this brilliance here. Magical. There it is. And Alexiak helps kick that one in. Big save by Decord on Letang. There's the one hand by Carter. And you talk about some of the bounces the Penguins have got the last couple of days. Well, that's a pretty good bounce right there, Mearsy. But unless you attempt to get the puck back to the net, you're not going to score. And the Penguins take advantage of the Kraken defense pinching 2 times in a row, a 2-on-1 and a 3-on-1. And when you have that kind of skill on the ice, they're going to make you pay, and they did.
It's the old line, you make your own breaks. A play like that from Carter's Ruhwedel with a shot, answered by Joey Decord.
The game turned just like that in 2 shifts. Kraken were in this hockey game. Casey DeSmith made a beautiful play with his stick, and the Penguins score on 2 straight rushes. And for all intents and purposes, this game may be over.
Spinning, maintaining his balance, Tanev over to Larson. Larson dangling, trying the shot, blocked by Ruhwedel. Larson gets it back, he's denied by DeSmith. Great stop, short side chance. Adam Larson, dozen seconds ago in the second period. Time will wind down on the second. Yeah, clear turning point. A poke check by Casey DeSmith. Also a good stop on Jamie Alexiak. There was pushback from Seattle. And then the Penguins go the other way. Goals from Gensel and Carter. Carter's got 2 tonight. And Bob, we got a 5-1 score just like that.
Wow, Carter can't believe it. A little smile there to McGinn. And why not? Maybe a big smile here in Seattle.
23 seconds apart, those 2 goals for the Pens as they recapture all the momentum. They got a stranglehold on the Kraken. 5-1 the score after 40 minutes of play. Robbie and Jay, over to you.
How about how fast these goals are happening for the Penguins tonight? Yep. 2 goals in 26 seconds and then 2 goals in 23 seconds.
Yeah, first 5 minutes of the first period, last 2 minutes of the second period. In between, Casey DeSmith was solid. And here we are, 5-1 game.
How about Bob Berry saying, hey, for all intents and purposes, you look at the way this thing's going, it could be over after 2 periods of play. When we come back, Dan Potash is going to talk to defenseman Mike Matheson as the Penguins lead a commanding 5-1 after 2.
Now, Penguins intermission.
Quick strike offense, the story through 2 periods of play for the Penguins. They scored twice, 26 seconds apart in the first period, and then they scored twice, 23 seconds apart in the final 2 minutes of period number 2, and they lead 5-1. With Jay Caulfield, I'm Robbie Mikowski. Welcome to the second intermission report here on AT&T Sportsnet. Defenseman Mike Matheson, who hasn't factored into the score sheet yet but is playing solid defense, is our guest tonight between periods, and he's standing by with our Dan Potash.
Well, Mike, a couple minutes ago, you had a 2-goal lead that appeared that you would carry into the third period. You now have a little cushion on that. How does that change things for you defensively, knowing that you've got a little bit more of a safety net, if you will, going into that final 20 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I think our first period, especially early on, was good, but I thought in the second period we took a bit of step back in our game, and so to capitalize on those 2 chances was huge for us going into the third period.
I know you had a chance to face them in practice just last year in McCann and Tanev, but what's it like to face them on the other side of the ice now? And I guess in particular, I'm talking about the speed that they have.
Yeah, I mean that's why we loved playing with them was the speed that they had, and how hard they worked on the ice, and especially Tans on the forecheck. He's a wrecking ball out there, so you have to be aware of both of them, and definitely miss being able to play with them, and they're pretty effective players.
You've got some speed as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you out. Good luck in the third period.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Defenseman Mike Matheson and the Penguins lead 5-1 after 2. Jay illustrates the Crosby goal. Next.
Penguins hockey on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by AHN, leading sports medicine care that keeps you in the game. And by Land Rover North Hills and Land Rover South Hills, proud members of Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group. Start your adventure today. Land Rover, above and beyond.
The score is 5-1. The Penguins lead the Seattle Kraken at the brand new Climate Pledge Arena. First ever meeting between these two teams against the expansion Seattle Kraken. Now stop me if you've heard this before. Crosby from Gensel, Gensel from Crosby. 11 times in the last 3 weeks, those two have combined for a goal, leading the entire NHL. And Jay, you're going to illustrate the Sidney Crosby goal, which was the second that they scored tonight.
Yeah, you're going to watch this, that offense. First of all, it starts with the draw. Rodriguez gets kicked out, and Crosby takes the draw, and he's going to do his patented, and I say that, he's going to win it back and pushes it to the wall. So what takes place, you'll watch it happen, and watch Gensel right there. Just a little subtle pick, which is good, right? Just a little piece of him, so different than what he used to be able to do before. Once the puck gets back, watch Gensel and what he does and funnels in, how he's always opening up for a look. Right there, look at him pivoting, and right there, he's opening up, and Dumoulin just going to slide it right into the wheelhouse, if you want to say. Gensel gets it towards the net. You've got Rodriguez crashing. You've got Sidney Crosby crashing the net. So again, D to D, right there to Gensel, and the battle off of escape by Alexiak. We'll get the replay again. But first off, it's the movement. Here's the little pick that I'm talking about, to buy your team a little bit of time. And then you watch Gensel open up and always want to give it out, and he wants the puck. There's the little pick. You see Rodriguez get to the net. There's Gensel pivoting back and forth. And right now, the puck is going to come off of Alexiak's skate. That's what gets it between the legs of Grubauer. But then you watch Crosby crash the net right here and dip inside Alexiak right there. And that's off of, then you see just the goal that's finally scored by Crosby. Again, the pivot, the positioning right there. Crosby tucks inside of Alexiak, the bigger body, gets body position on him, and look at Alexiak. He knows it was off his body, through Grubauer, and right there, and you see the reaction by Alexiak. But just the work of Gensel, always pivoting. And there's a play, I believe it's either the Heinen goal or what he was a part of. It's that high cycle, that movement when the forwards are inside the offensive zone, that they come up and swing up high. We saw Gensel do that right there, off of the draw to get the position. Dumoulin looking for him right in that position, and then they crash the net.
It's twice with Alexiak tonight that happened.
Tough. I mean,
going off, tough play.
That's right. That's where it goes.
All right, here's our Pennsylvania Lottery by the numbers tonight. You look at the shots after 2 periods of play, 21-19 in favor of the Pens. They've scored on 5 of those 21. Remember, Philip Grubauer started the game but gave up 3 goals in the first 4 shots. Joey Decord has been there since then. That's where we stand after 2 periods of play. When we come back on the second intermission report, Jay's going to look ahead to period number 3, Pens with a commanding 4-goal lead. At Washington to take on the Capitals, and then Saturday against Anaheim. Pre-game coverage begins at 6 o'clock, and the puck's going to drop at 7 against Guy Hebert and the Anaheim Ducks. You can see the Pens debut their new 3rd jerseys this Saturday as well, and if you'd like to be there in person, tickets are available at PittsburghPenguins.com or by scanning the QR code that you see on your screen right now. Jay, 5-1 after 2 periods of play. You got 20 minutes left. What do you put on cruise control, or what do you do?
No, strong 20 minutes. Again, all the things in the zones, 3 zones. Be smart on the forecheck, neutral zone. No turnovers. Don't feed in their game, and be ready for their D to jump up into play. They got to take chances right away. They're behind by 4. But again, for Casey DeSmith, play a solid 20 minutes in front of him, make his night, finish it off easy for him.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Casey DeSmith pick up his first win here on the season. To make sure you stay tuned after the final buzzer sounds at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, because we've got a lot of post-game coverage coming your way with Jay and I. It's the post-game show presented by Sheely's Furniture, appliances, and mattresses. We'll be joined by plenty of Pens players, and we're going to break it all down, post-game reaction, and a lot more. Still 20 minutes of hockey left. When we come back, Steve Mears, Bob Berry, Dan Potash, and the call of the third period.
Shadow of the Space Needle, and it's the Pittsburgh Penguins with a 5-1 lead after 40 minutes of action. In case you're just joining us, here's what you missed, brought to you by your Western PA Honda dealers. Just joining us, where have you been? You missed a fast and furious start for Pittsburgh. Minute 47 seconds in, it was Jeff Carter with his 6th. And then Sidney Crosby at the post. Points in 6 consecutive games, 4:42 the time. Danton Heinen shortly thereafter. 25 seconds later, the Penguins had a 3-0 advantage. Jordan Eberle getting the Kraken on the board. And then a key play here. This looked like it could have been a backdoor tap-in for McCann. Good stick. Casey DeSmith breaking up the pass. And then the Penguins poured it on at the end of the second. Gensel, his 14th. And then 23 seconds later, it was Jeff Carter off of Alexiak. Nice one-handed play. Carter's 2nd goal of the game. Letang and Heinen getting the assist there. So Letang on the score sheet, Heinen on the score sheet 3 times, 4th career 3-point game. He has led all players. These other guys with multi-point efforts, Gensel, Crosby, and Carter. And the Penguins with a 5-1 lead after 2 periods.
Somebody said they wanted to get the Carter line going. I don't know. I think they're going.
Yeah.
I think they're going. I think the Sidney, the Crosby line, it's going.
Oh, we knew that. Just needed to get some of these other lines, get some more production.
The penalty killers, Bluger, McGinn, and company, they're going. The goaltending's going, and the Penguins are up 5-1 in this game right now. And I tell you, everything Gensel touches is turning to gold, and Carter's got a little bit of a magical touch as well.
Yeah, he has since day one when he arrived with Pittsburgh. Chance for Appleton. Flies to the glass here in the first 20 seconds of the third. And navigating over to the boards is Alexander Wenberg. Took the check from behind. Puck was brought back in by Larson for an offside goal. Let's take a look at this tweet from NHL PR. Jake Gensel establishing a Penguins record longest season opening road point streak. He's played in 12 road games, got points in all of them. That's surpasses the previous mark set by Evgeny Malkin in 2008-2009. He's extended his overall point scoring streak to 13 tonight. That's the longest streak in the NHL. In case you're wondering, the Penguin record is 46. Mario. 89-90. I mentioned those because younger fans may not be aware, but that is the 2nd longest streak in NHL history. So congratulations, Jake. You're a quarter of the way there. Carter will chip it over to Zucker. He lobs it in.
Look at that forecheck.
Chance for Heinen, looking for 4 points. Rockets off the glass. Jeff Carter. Everything he's touching. Turning to gold here for Pittsburgh. Penguins made those line adjustments prior to the Vancouver game on Saturday. They didn't touch the Crosby line, but all 3 lines. They switched some wingers up. Even though they didn't have the numbers on Saturday against the Canucks, he did see more scoring chances. Mike Sullivan was pleased with the play of those new line combinations. Tanev gets tripped up by Matheson. You know Tanev's going to finish every hit. 6th in the league in hits, usual position.
The Penguins escaped, and Gensel escaped unscathed in that first period. Look out.
Scrambling to Smith. He's got it as it trickled over to the blue paint.
Big save for DeSmith here to start this third period. Yeah, the Penguins were fortunate on the Gensel block of the back of the hand. That did lead to something else. Here's the hit on Matheson by Tanev, and then the turnover. Smith stays with that, makes 3 saves. 1, 2, and 3.
Another one of those highlights there of the previous view where you see all 5 Penguins in the picture. Casey DeSmith making the saves he had to make, looking for his first win of the year. Wondered where the Penguins would go as far as the starting goaltender tonight. Could have stuck with Tristan Jarry with some days off upcoming, couple of practice days. You know there's a back-to-back. Most likely utilize both goaltenders over the weekend. But Mike Sullivan encouraged by DeSmith's progress. His last game against Montreal, really solid tonight. Here's Will Borgen looking, shooting. Whistled wide of DeSmith. Dumoulin, the handoff to Crosby. And he connects with Gensel. Quick up and a breakaway. Rodriguez in, rolls away from him. Rodriguez turning, walking out. Shot attempt off the stick of Borgen and out of play.
Wasn't so sure Lausanne didn't get a piece of Rodriguez before he lost that puck, but nonetheless, there was a little bit of pressure put on by 55. Look at that feed here from Crosby to Gensel to Rodriguez. There's a stick. I thought it went up into his hands. Lausanne's stick. Let's see. See how it comes up? It goes down on the ice, but it rides up the shaft of the stick and then hits him in that wrist area, and that leads the puck into the corner, Mearsy, and that's the reason why he didn't get a good opportunity and lost the puck.
Awfully close to penalty shot material there.
Yeah, that would have been a penalty shot if the referee had maybe saw the slow motion. Sometimes you're blocked. You don't get a great view of it. Lausanne's stick started on the ice and just rode right up to the hands of Rodriguez.
Bank forward for Riley Sheahan. Cleaned up by Marino. Gets it forward for Dominic Simon. Resetting is Marcus Pettersson. Here is Marino. Fires it to center. Steered in by Kapanen. Kapanen out here with Drew O'Connor, along with Dominic Simon. O'Connor with the steal. Kapanen on the backhand of the forehand on net. The cord stays with the moves from Kapanen.
These turnovers, Mears. You were telling me after the second period, all the turnover numbers here, and they're not looking good for Seattle, and Pittsburgh are forcing them.
13 turnovers through 2 periods of play for the Kraken. Good shift here from this trio. Here's O'Connor right in front with the stuff attempt. So Simone, O'Connor, and Kapanen there on that shift. Adam Larson with the soft shoot in. Larson, the defenseman, will head in deep. Apply some pressure on Danton Heinen. Heinen, Matheson, Carter. Good puck support from the Pens, able to flip out. And Carson Soucy will rifle right back in. He's back in front in terms of shots on goal, 24-22. And a very comfortable lead, trying to finish this road trip on a high note. A couple of practice days for the Pens. They'll travel home tomorrow. Kraken moving it east-west. Nothing happens for Yanni Gourde. Back to the point for Soucy. Soucy around, out of the reach of Eberle. Comes to Schwartz for Eberle. Bounces to Gourde. Eberle, Seattle goal scored tonight. Sweeps it back to the top. Alexiak with the shot attempt. Knocked down. Schwartz tees it up. Taking it wide, spinning and going to Soucy. Drive kicked away by DeSmith. Rebound handled by Zucker. Powers to center. Heinen was hit but got it deep, and DeCourt stops it behind the goal.
Penguins are back on their toes, trying to take this third period right away from the Kraken.
Jared McCann back on the attack for the Kraken. Borgen into McCann, and now Morgan Geekie. To Borgen, shot blocked. It was reuniting this trio, McGinn, Aston Reese, and Teddy Bluger. Just to go back to that combination, Aston Reese throws a check. Tumbling down was Borgen. Lausanne taking exception. Are they going to go? Still tangled up behind the play. Penguins with possession. Here's Marino. He's back checked. Couldn't get a clean shot off. Covered up by DeCourt. And Aston Reese and Lausanne continue to have words.
Reese says, Zach Aston Reese is saying, why do I have to fight for a good hit? Lausanne, his team's losing 5-1. Look at Kapanen. Look at the turnover here. The Penguins force it. Kapanen tries a quick turn to the forehand. And then Rodriguez, watch the stick come up here. Right into the hands. Oh, right into the hands. That didn't help, but Rodriguez looks around. Do I get a penalty shot? Do I get a penalty shot? No, you'll get nothing.
Well, as you said, the officials, they don't have the benefit of that super slow-mo replay. Evan Rodriguez now 6 points in his last 8 games. Just fitted seamlessly there on that line. Now a message from Rivers Casino.
Treat yourself to a night out you'll never forget at Moderano's Prime at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh.
Fast strike for the Penguins to get up 3-0. Then they were very patient, but they waited, and they got a 2-on-1 and they capitalized, and a 3-on-1 and they capitalized at the end of that second period. And it was a good period by the Kraken, but the Penguins did what they had to do. They were very patient, played the right way, and are up 5-1 right now in the third.
And you knew the ice would tilt back at some point in the
Yep.
game. I mean, there's so much hockey to be played. And as Mike Sullivan has talked about before, in situations like that, you're going up against human nature. There's going to be a letdown, and it's hard to guard against that. It's hard to play that way for the full 60 minutes. It's almost impossible.
Well, it's 3-0, and you don't want to, be too aggressive in trying to make it 6 or 7-0. You don't really need to. The other team has to. Finally, the Penguins got their break, and they took it.
Not only the one penalty called in the game, they were able to kill it off. They have not had a power play chance. So a lot of 5-on-5 hockey. Matheson and Ruedel, the two defensemen. Dominic Simon able to angle it to center. Again, O'Connor, Kapanen, and Simon. Persistent work from Kapanen along the boards. Puck is loose at center, skated into by Schwartz. Whips it across for Eberle. Eberle, some nifty moves across the top of the zone. Now looking for a play. Finds one. Soucy missed it though. Has to retreat. He's shouldered by Kapanen. Forced the turnover. 2-on-1 O'Connor with Simon. Saucer pass Simon and stopped by Decord. Great chance for Dominic Simon.
Little aerial pass there from O'Connor, and tries to go to the 6-hole. Denied by the blocker.
Downtown Seattle, the illuminated Ferris wheel right at the waterfront. Beautiful at Seattle, Washington. Penguins with a 5-1 lead. Almost made it 6-1. Dominic Simon trying to get his first point in 14 games. Had that great start. What do you think of that combination, Bob? O'Connor with Simon and Kapanen.
Well, I like it. They're working hard too. They don't have their, they're not tripping on their lip or anything like that. Kapanen's working hard. A lot of talk about him and how he's playing, and you want to get him working. And Mike Sullivan says he's working. He's getting his chances. Well, he is getting his chances. I just saw the last two shifts. They turning pucks over. They've had some of the best chances of this third period so far. I like the way that line works. I have no, O'Connor from day one this year. Has he put in a bad shift? I don't think so. I mean, he has been so consistent. And Dominic Simon had a good training camp, worked his way back into the fold here in Pittsburgh. He's a guy that everybody likes to play with. He's strong on the puck. He'd love to score more. He would have loved to cash in there on the O'Connor play. And Kapanen's working hard. And he knows that that's the only way he's going to get back into the goal-scoring column.
One area where Kapanen has thrived is takeaways. He's tied for second on the team in that category. Matheson is first.
It's a long season. You just keep working away. Hopefully the bounces go your way. You can see a lot of the Penguins they're not gripping the stick too tight. Everything they touch is turned into roses right now. Talking about Carter in this game and Gensel for a streak. And when you have that, Mears didn't happen that often for me, but when I did, my hands were even soft. And there is a difference. There is a difference between gripping the stick and having soft hands where you feel like you can make plays like Maryland Lemieux.
Oh, that must be a great feeling.
It was for a game or two.
Oh, come on, come on. Anticipating the return of Evgeny Malkin, I would not be shocked if it was Kapanen reunited with Malkin when 71 does return. Remember how good those two were. They had a lot of chemistry. Malkin was red hot prior to the knee injury at the end of last year against Boston. Icing is called here against Pittsburgh. And it's time for the Edgar Snyder & Associates hit of the game.
Schwartz is carrying the puck, and Zucker is coming back hard. I like Zucker's game again. I mean, he's a guy that doesn't have to be on the score sheet all the time. I love the last game he played last year, the very last one, where he's blocking shots, hitting bodies, getting pucks to the net. He wasn't on the score sheet, and the Penguins didn't win. But when you're not always on the score sheet, it's the other things that you do. You don't worry about it. You keep playing that way, good things are going to happen, and you're part of a winning hockey team. Somebody's got to do that. He's doing it for the line.
That's a good point. He was one of the bright spots for the Penguins in that playoff series. He had 2 goals, 1 assist. And a very impressive effort last game. Trying to score with more regularity, but the chances have been there for Jason Zucker. How many breakaways has he had?
Everybody'd like to score. Everybody'd like to, everybody should have 20 goals by this point. But not everybody's going to score. You're going to go through highs and lows. It doesn't matter who you are. Talk to anybody about it.
Guess who?
Yeah.
59, Jake Guentzel. Now he's just making it look easy.
Now he's just flipping pucks in for fun. I mean, absolutely incredible. Down the off wing, you talk about somebody who's got a loose grip on the stick. This line here. Look at that. Backhand feed. Guentzel took a backhand feed off the outside of his skate and shot it. Look at this. Skate. And he knew exactly what he was doing. He settled it down with the outside of his skate. It was a backhand dish pass that landed right on the blade. Look at this. And then he just flicks it inside the goalpost. There's something magical about that. And not everybody can do that. And there's sometimes not words to describe it, Mearsy. It's just a feel. It's a touch. It is kind of magical.
I'm at a loss. I mean, I'm sorry. There's nothing more to say about Guentzel.
That was nice.
We ran out of superlatives like 3 games ago.
Yeah.
His 15th of the season. He's got 12 goals now in 12 games. We could spend the rest of the show just going on. There's note after note with this guy.
Well, that was something there that even Bluger wants to look at it. Look, he's over here. Guentzel wants to see it again. Rodriguez can just throw pucks anywhere. It used to be said about Mario, you could throw a puck anywhere, he could take the pass. You couldn't give him a bad pass. And that was a great example of it there. Rodriguez, he couldn't give Guentzel a bad pass there. He just put it somewhere, and Guentzel made it happen, right? He adjusted to where the puck was and made it work.
Guentzel, another 3-point game. Rocket from Dominic Simon is answered by Decord.
One more look at it. Maybe? Now they already looked at it in the iPad. look at Rodriguez is smiling. He's saying, how did you, I didn't mean to put it there. How did you exactly do that?
Is there anybody else you could think of, Bob? I always say with Jake, not the hardest shot, not the fastest guy, not the biggest guy. He just has a knack.
I thought Joey Mullen was like that. I really did. A guy that scored a lot of goals in this league, at one point more than over 500, more than any American at one time. And
Kapanen open in the middle and trying to take that Simone pass. Remember they used to say about Teemu Selanne, he didn't have a very hard shot, but he just had a knack. Obviously a little more explosive.
Yeah. We thought about him as a guy that always got behind, could get behind you down the wing. Jake, I don't know if one thing stands out over the other than his brain is just off the charts. He's got, talk about IQ. He's a genius on the ice.
And we started the show talking about the fact that he has scored 40. He's won a Stanley Cup. He tied the rookie record for goals in a postseason in 2017. He's been an all-star. And this right now, the best hockey of his career. Remarkable run he has been on. Jake Guentzel.
Well, we've seen him bank pucks off defensemen from behind the net, Mearsy. So, he's just, if there's a will, there's a way.
Shot by Borgen. Rattles around. Wenberg looking for Appleton. And Jake may not be done. Said the same thing on Saturday. Well, a lot of time to go, and the Penguins up 6-1. Guentzel started off, he had 1 goal in the first 7 games of the year, which for his goal-scoring exploits, that's a slow start. But now has erased any of that. He's in the top 10 in goal-scoring in the entire league.
Well, this is probably about as quiet as this building has been all season long.
Yeah, good point.
It has to be.
They have had some tremendous atmospheres from day number 1. So much energy in the city for the Seattle Kraken over the last 3 years since they were awarded the franchise almost exactly 3 years ago. Penguins did a great job, though, in the first 5 minutes of getting right on the attack and quieting the sellout crowd.
Well, Jake was the 3rd star last week. He's making a bid for a better number this week.
Yeah, it's 3rd star in the NHL. 6 points in the 3 games. Look out, Soucy. A big check on Brock McGinn. Didn't appreciate it. Gets a piece of Yanni Gourde. McGinn appears to be all right.
Yeah, he's fortunate there. That was a tough hit. Reminiscent of a hit Gensel took against the Sabres a couple of years back.
Evan Rodriguez is winding up for Pittsburgh. Flings it into the glove of Joey Daccord. He will melt that down. And we've got a break with 8:06 to go in the third period. A 6-1 score. The Penguins led by their stars yet again. How smooth was that? Gensel, top shelf.
Well, there's McGinn and Soucy. Didn't like it. He, close to the boards. McGinn is, Soucy's looking at his numbers. Well, if he had to hit him from the front, he would have. He came in with his backside. A tough spot there for a player a couple of feet from the boards. I thought McGinn was very lucky to get up from that. In a 6-1 game, late, 8:06 left in the third period. Probably not a good hit.
Dangerous one, but luckily Brock McGinn okay. Taking a hit from Carson Soucy. Still have 8 minutes to go in the third. And the Penguins up 6-1. How about Letang and Dumoulin +4 each tonight? Appleton twists that one on goal, and getting a chunk of it was Casey DeSmith. Slides over smoothly, makes another stop. Wenberg cycles it down to Mason Appleton. Jake Gensel on the prowl there for Pittsburgh. 3-point night after 4 on Saturday. 2 goals, 1 assist. Appleton looking for an opening. Twists and turns. Appleton running out of room. Was able to hold it in, feeds it down to the corner. But it's jumped on by Pettersson. Tipped out. Here come the Penguins again. Crosby at the end of his shift. Trying to shovel it in. Got it to Kraken ice. And now curve back and go to the bench. And the puck is played by Jamie Alexiak. Alexiak through center. Dumped off the glass. Arrives at the same time as Matheson. Ruedel along with O'Connor. Dominic Simone. Tight quarters. Lifting it back for Ruedel. Now Matheson peers over the shoulder. He's got some time on the forehand. Gets it toward Kapanen. He will lob it out center ice. 25 saves from Casey DeSmith tonight. He's 650 away from his first win of the season.
And that'll make him feel good. Nobody wants to go through with goose eggs. So for Casey DeSmith to get a W, make him feel good about his game again. Good back-to-back games, I think, for Casey.
Credit to Mike Sullivan, too. Thought it was pretty debatable which goaltender to go with here. Yeah, end of a road trip. You got the back-to-back coming up. But he talked about managing the workload for both of these guys. And Casey was trending in the right direction. Liked his game against Montreal. Liked the way he's been practicing. Good work with new goaltending coach Andy Chiodo. So that decision paying dividends. DeSmith has been really sharp. And it certainly helps when you get the early goal support. Good defense from Letang on Schwartz. Dunn off the wall to Gord. Again, the Penguins next up. Another road game, but it's not till Friday. They'll head home tomorrow. Take on the Washington Capitals on Friday night in D.C. Nice maneuver by Donskoy. To the inside, getting the shot off. DeSmith, another save. 5:41 to go in the third. A 6-1 score. Casey DeSmith certainly held up his end of the bargain tonight.
He's going to leave the hottest guy. An assist there, a shot block at the end of the first period. Weren't sure he was going to come back. Oh yeah, he did. Elevation off the Rodriguez feed. Little chip to the blocker side. And Jake Gensel is on fire. What else he got in store?
Yeah.
Love watching him play. Just able to get himself in the positions to make these plays or to finish off plays. Just has that instinct.
Just has a knack. Super high hockey IQ. Seen it since day one, his first shift. Scored a goal in the NHL against the New York Rangers. In his rookie campaign, 13-game point scoring streak, the 2 longest this year. McDavid had a 17-gamer. Troy Terry, who we'll see on Saturday, had 16 games. The only streaks that have been longer in the NHL. Number 1 Cochrane Expressway player of the game is Jake Gensel. Fuego. 7 goals in the last 4, +3. And in a 6-1 score, if you're still up with us late night, you are officially a member of the Night Owl Club. We appreciate you hanging out with us after hours. Hope you're enjoying this one as we go down the stretch in Seattle. And we'll look back on this road trip here, Bob. Penguins looking at a 2-1-1 record. And we knew this was a tough trip. Edmonton, Calgary, as good as they have been. Obviously, Vancouver's been struggling. The Penguins got the job done there, got the 2 points in Vancouver. But this was a hot team, too. 5-1-1 in their last 7. And a dominant performance here for Pittsburgh on what will be looked at as overall a great road trip out west.
Well, the Penguins have been ready to start more than not this year. And that's a trait that I don't think was always with them last year. But this year, they're on their toes. That first goal is so precious, important. That puck goes into the empty bench. And let's take a look at Casey DeSmith's work tonight, Mearsey.
Let's do it. Casey DeSmith tonight with 27 saves on his way to his first victory. This is his 5th game. Hadn't played since November 27th against Montreal. Been resilient throughout his entire career. Undrafted, spent 4 years AHL, ECHL. That frustrating injury last year. And trying to bounce back off of that bilateral core muscle surgery in June. So he will improve to 1-3-1 on the season. And lost in all the offensive fireworks. A really good game from Casey DeSmith. Really solid.
Well, last year was the other way around for the Penguin goaltenders. Jari had a real tough start, you know. So
that's right.
You just, a stretch of X amount of games doesn't define you, as Jari would say about his playoffs last year. It makes you stronger, and it has to, right? And that's exactly what these guys are doing. They just want to move forward to the next play and the next game, the next save.
You know, every goaltender is going to benefit from more game action. Casey gets in here tonight. We'll see him again on the weekend. So, you know, he's loving that. Just get more into the rhythm of the game and the position. Let's take a look back at some of the exceptional work of Casey DeSmith tonight.
Well, he helped himself out on a brilliant play right there that was a game saver possibly, because the Penguins turned it around after that one. But you see he's in position. He's fighting these pucks off, even the ones that are chipped and smothering them. Defense have been helping him out with some of the backdoor plays, and I like the calmness.
And it'll be the answer to a trivia question someday. Who's the winning goaltender in the first ever matchup between the Penguins and the Kraken? It's Casey DeSmith. These two teams will meet again in Pittsburgh, January 27th.
Usually you get a couple smiles from Casey, but not so much here in this hockey game. Been very stoic behind that mask.
That's a good look at the mask, isn't it? The Office theme, designed by Teddy Bluger. Dumoulin able to dig it out. He's got a couple of points tonight, as I mentioned earlier, +4. Jason Zucker hustling in, driving toward the net, and got spun around by Dunn. Letang toward the goal, knocked away. Zucker on the follow-up chance.
Look at the effort. I mean, he's going. I like it. Yeah, look, banging again, banging bodies with Larson.
It's good to see.
Yep, he's a little banged up right now after that last one.
Sort of hobble his way to the bench, and it's good to see. It's a 6-1 game. I mean, this one's decided.
Yeah.
Still a lot of hustle there from Jason Zucker.
Yeah, that would have been a penalty in a normal game, had it not been 6-1 with 3.5 minutes left when he took that puck to the net.
Larson winds it around for Donskoy. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. Donskoy cuts back in a short pass. Stick handling in Ryan Donato. Nothing happens there for him. Dominic Simone over to Kasperi Kapanen.
Good play there.
Races forward. Yeah, why not? Use the speed. He's up against Alexiak. He's going to win that foot race. Penguins now grinding here with O'Connor. Reaching for it with Simone. Alexiak up the far boards. And now Riley Sheahan. Through O'Connor. Back pressure on Donato. Scampering over to the corner.
I love that play.
Out muscles Donskoy.
I love how he shortened up. He did something with the top hand with the stick to get some leverage for that reverse type hit. That was very interesting.
Kapanen will slide it back. Chad Ruhwedel in no hurry. Up to the red line. Got it into Kraken ice. Penguins will improve to 12-8-5 on the season. It will be a 2-1-1 road trip. Not easy with the travel involved and the opponents, the caliber of opponents they're going up against. Points 28 and 29 will be in the bank. And we're sitting in the second wild card position entering action tonight. Fourth in the Metropolitan Division.
I love the work right to the final buzzer here. They're really working for Casey here, working for themselves, keeping the game at a good spot.
Complete effort from the Pittsburgh Penguins in their first ever game against the Seattle Kraken. Everybody with a hand in this one. Started from the very first shift, and the first goal, a $1.47 in. Jeff Carter got it. He's got 2 goals tonight, as does Jake Gensel. And they will have a score to settle with the Washington Capitals on Friday. Had that depleted lineup that played in the back-to-back in Washington last time they were in Washington playing there a few weeks ago. It'll be a much different story, and again, that game will be on ESPN Plus and Hulu. Places to watch those two. Just keep that in mind. And we'll be back with you on Saturday with the Penguins and the Anaheim Ducks. Nice to be back at the rink at some holiday hockey, and after that Washington game, it'll be 5 of 6 at PPG Paints Arena. 30 seconds to go here in the third. Fans have headed to the exits for the most part. Launched down, and one last icing called. Give you the reminder again of the upcoming games. So if you want to watch Friday's game, it's on ESPN Plus and Hulu, those 2 subscription services. That's where you can watch the Penguins and the Capitals on Friday night. We're back with you on Saturday, Penguins and the Ducks, who have been surprisingly good. Very talented young team. Canadians, Buffalo Sabres, among others, with an upcoming homestand. So we will see you at the rink. A very fruitful Western Canadian road trip.
Fruitful and sushi-ful, as we saw from Malkin.
I'm starving over here.
Oh, I know, Casey. Casey's, well, somebody's going to be wearing that, what do you call that they pass around to their star of the game?
Is that the Viking helmet?
The Viking helmet.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Somebody's going to be wearing that tonight. It might be Casey, his first win.
Wouldn't shock me. All I know is it's a little
Jake
disgusting.
can't give it to himself.
I would not put it on my head. That's Aston Reese gets it on goal. The cord, one last save. Win number 1 in the books for Casey DeSmith. First win of the season. And what a clinic from the Pittsburgh Penguins in Seattle. 6-1 final score. And big time congratulations from his teammates. Jake Gensel.
They're all touching him. He's so hot. You want some of that hotness.
Gensel points in 13 straight. 2-goal night from that guy, Jeff Carter. Brian Dumoulin, 2 assists. How about Dan Heinen, 3 points? Can't forget about his game. Sidney Crosby, he stays hot.
Yep.
11 points in the last.